Hi, I'm Ben, and I'm with,
Scott Perry.
and we're going to be talking about the Brahma. That's what we're going to be talking.
We're talking about Brahmas?
Yes.
Well, good thing I love Brahmas. So who do you have?
She don't have a name.
Neither does she. Perfect.
This is a Bantam Buff Brahma.
And I got a large fowl dark, and we have decided that neither of these birds are in condition or finished, but we still brought them anyway. I got best of breed because she's the only one to know.
And I
that's
got
okay.
third.
Hey, there
And
we
second.
go.
That's what
But
I
you had
got.
competition. I didn't.
What do you look for in a Brahma?
There's a lot that I look for in a Brahma. I particularly got started with Brahmas with my project colors. I work with partridges, and at first it was color, and then I learned a thing or two. Of course, it's going to be type here on out. However, I've been working with Brahmas for about 8 years, or maybe they've been working with me, dealing with me. But for the most part, you really want nice depth. There's a kind of a golden ratio to it. You want depth throughout, width throughout. Of course, she isn't the best representation of the way that their head should be. She's a young pullet. But I do expect her to show better whenever she's an old hen. I like them to be able to actually function when they're old. There's a lot of balance to it, and they're not an easy breed, and that's why not a lot of people work with them, especially in the large fowl. What do you look for in a Brahma?
I just got these like 3 weeks ago.
Okay, what do you like about them?
I like how calm they usually are. Well, the Bantams. I don't know about the large fowl.
They're also pretty calm.
They'll just sit on your lap.
They like buttons.
And I noticed that my males like to bite me whenever they get a chance, but they're calm. They're also very judgy with their little eyes. And I look for in a Brahma a nice pattern around the neck.
Very nice. She's
And then
a good representation.
A thick skull. A nice thick skull on the head.
Oh yeah, so one thing I've learned is the skull, it's kind of like a lot of people, you'll see it a lot in lights, that they have a mansion built on a stick foundation. You also got to look at the jaw structure, so you want a really nice foundation or else it's all just going to fall apart on itself. So you want a good squared off head, which she does. She has a great head. What other breeds do you work with?
And you want to work, like going to work with?
What birds do you got?
My good quality birds.
You gotta start
somewhere. I got some pets. I'm making my own line of barred Old English, trying with a white Old English hen and a 8 to 10 year old Bantam barred rock cock.
Oh wow!
Don't know how much longer he's gonna last with us.
Hey.
And then I have these guys, which should breed out and make good babies. And I just got Saramas, which should do good for babies and get show quality for the shows and produce the breeders. So I can breed.
And how old are you again?
15.
You are way ahead of me than when I was 15. I was like, ooh, that's kind of a chicken. But yeah, you definitely are on the right track. You're an amazing kid. You inspire me a lot. Honestly, if you ever want any large fowl, whenever you get into some large fowl, let me know.
We gotta build pens.
Yeah, we gotta build some pens once we get some pens built.
Because we keep my bannies inside a cabinet.
Mm-hmm. But you do have to work with dark too. You can't just nitpick. I know you don't like the darks. You got to work with darks. Okay.
I do if I can do partridge.
Okay. You got any more questions?
What's your dream bird?
My dream bird, a dodo bird, but that's just in my dreams. My dream bird would be a partridge Brahma on Champion Road, but that's also in my dreams as of right now. What's your dream bird?
I got 2. African spoonbill and a North American ruddy duck.
Hey, I got a friend with ruddies. I can hook you up.
I have to have a permit.
She can sell them with permits. I'm a bad influence. Anywho,
what's your advice to beginners?
My advice to beginners is kind of what I told you earlier. So, whenever you're young, it's fine to kind of go through breeds and figure out what you like, colors, everything that works for you. You want to find something that you're going to be passionate about, but once you kind of get through there, you kind of want to select your main things. A lot of people get too lost in the sauce and have a little bit of everything. You got to have huge facilities and be able to afford those facilities and be able to also feed all those birds.
I don't have a big, I have 17 acres of land.
Hey,
That's
you're
what I got.
better than what I had at 15. So, basically, just figure out what you're passionate about whenever you're young, trial and error, and kind of go from there and kind of start with the best that you can afford. Take in everything. Don't realize that everything that everyone tells you is written in stone. Everything that I'm telling you right now, take with a grain of salt. Everybody's going to tell you something a little bit different, and that's kind of the beauty in the whole APA anyhow. You judge the book. Everyone has their own interpretations of the book, and that you go from one side of the United States to the other side, and the birds just kind of change along the whole way. What do you have? What advice do you have for old farts like me? Huh?
Stay alive.
Stay alive. I'm trying to. Every day I wake up, it's a good day.
Do you have any hatching and birding tips for Brahmas?
For the Brahmas themselves, if you can get a younger male that you know is going to be good, you'll get a little bit more fertility. They kind of can lose that over time, but with the Brahmas, it's kind of just trial and error. A lot of people have a lot of different ways of doing things. The way I do things isn't going to be the same way that everybody needs to be doing things either. So you kind of just got to find what works for you and go with it. Do you have any tips for anybody with hatching?
No, because I haven't mastered hatching myself.
Hey, there's an art in it in its own right.
And birding, I still use totes with
Hey,
lamps. I'm trying to get built birders.
one thing I do that a lot of people think is a little interesting, I mist our eggs with hydrogen peroxide before we put them in the incubator.
Oh, I don't miss mine eggs.
It gets rid of any anaerobic bacteria that's on the shell that could actually go into
Does that
the
reduce
shell.
the risk of coccidiosis?
It's more along the lines of, so the most common death days whenever you're hatching are going to be day 7, days 11, and 17, I believe.
Unless they're selfies and it's every
Then
day.
it's every day.
Yes.
That's fine. But so it kind of just reduces. I've gotten better hatch rates from it. I also live in North Carolina where the humidity is really, really high too. And so I also don't, I've tried dry hatching, and with me dry hatching, it's just humid
I've been
already.
trying to dry hatch, and so far the old English game work in it.
Mhm.
Polish do not, and then ducks I don't dry hatch. Ducks I don't even go. Some people say with ducks go to 70 to 80 in the last week. I go to only 50 to 60, and it because 70, 80 it would drown, like they die.
You know, they always do better the least amount I pay attention to to the eggs, it seems. But you're never going to beat a hen sitting on any eggs either, though. And that's what Brahmas are also really good at. They make great moms. I also find they hatch really good under our modern game hens, too.
I want modern game, but we have a bad company experience.
It sounds like you want a little bit of everything. I've shown you I point at a bird and you're like, I want that. But that's exactly what you need to do right
modern
now.
game, though.
Modern games are awesome. I want to get into the bantams.
I was trying to get some red pile bantams at National, but then
a
again,
red pile.
I can send you the info of the lady.
We're bad influences on each other. I don't need them. Any more questions you got for me? Well, it was a pleasure. I can't wait to see everything that you do, and hopefully one day I'll be as good as you. All right.